there was a hiatus and a break period that goes on even before you released this last album, right?
Yeah, we had, I think it was almost 3 years before we made this newest album.
It wasn't necessarily a hiatus. We're still
trying to make music.
out,
We just
making
sucked
music.
a bunch of times at it.
Yeah. It felt like the universe was against us for a couple years there. Every time we tried,
Yeah, something would happen.
So last year in February is when we really got together and became Chase Atlantic again.
Can we talk about the idea of the universe working against you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that came because of some success?
I don't know. We just got we tried to go to Tahoe, and then they had the worst winter storm they've had in like over 100 years. And like we spent most of our time, instead of making music, shoveling snow so we could survive.
Instead of 3 Australians in the middle of a winter storm in Tahoe.
We're like, yeah, we'll go away, first time going away to make our own album. You know what I mean? Like that special trip, and we were just shoveling snow and like getting our cars like stuck. And then Christian and I, when we landed at the airport, like it was just blizzarding. And Christian already doesn't like when I drive him around.
I'm already sketchy as it is.
And so we're going through this blizzard. The road doesn't even exist, can't see anything. And he was actually really good about it.
Well, he drove very slow and very carefully.
We got through it. But even to get to the house, we were like, what the fuck?
We need to acknowledge like what a feat that is. Because one, you're driving on a totally opposite side of the road that you're not used to.
I mean...
And then on top of that, like, when's the last time you experienced snow?
There's no snow.
No.
Yeah.
Never drive. I mean, Clinton was always the driver. You know?
Yeah.
We came out to America when we were like 18, 17. We never got our driver's license. Clinton always drove us around.
Also, the car wasn't well equipped for driving in snow.
Yeah, Tahoes are not good in the snow.
They're not good in Tahoe.
Tahoes aren't good in Tahoe.
Chevy Tahoes aren't good?
No.
No, not in
They're,
Tahoe.
like, built
Great
for
cars, but they're not
Yeah,
built for
they're
the
not built
snow.
for Tahoe.
I've seen them. They're not built for the snow.
Yeah, so when Clinton went up, he went up with Seth, who does like a lot of our like mastering and mixing. And the car, I remember when we drove past it, was stuck in this area. They couldn't move it. And it already was like 3/4 like up to the roof with snow surrounded.
That was our introduction.
A couple of days after that, you couldn't even see it. You just knew where the car was because of a big snow pile.
Yeah.
And this was like 3 minutes away from the house. It wasn't just like directly near the house.
Wait, so, okay, how long were you planning to stay in Tahoe to make music?
We were going to try and make like...
An album?
Yeah, we were going to try and make,
album.
or at least like half an album. We made one song.
Wait, so we're thinking about like weeks, right?
Yeah, we were there for 3.5, 4 weeks. There was moments there where it's like, I can't see us leaving Tahoe alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tahoe fails.
Yeah.
You say you make one song.
Yeah.
Did that song make the album?
It sure did.
It did.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
If you listen to the first lyrics, pill it up in a winter storm.
Yeah.
So, okay, you get one record out of it, but then you choose to pause after that?
We just couldn't find the momentum or like the time to lock in because we were living together when we made Beauty and Death.
When we saw you guys last.
Yeah. And so it was a lot easier to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're doing it all the time.
Yeah,
you
you're in
can
the
do it on
same
your own
house.
time.
Yeah, and you just share. But then when you start moving to your own houses, and then you have to find the time to everyone's available to connect. And
I think our issue was consistency. So we would make a good song. Mitchell would write something really cool, and then the next day, I've got this coming up. I can't do it. So we didn't find the time. So last year it was like block out everything, and we had to turn the Chase Atlantic back on.
Yeah,
and that took us, I'd say, a week.
Yeah, I mean, throughout it was still scary as well because me personally, I was like second guessing everything I was doing. Yeah, and then I was like, I don't know how to make music.
Because it was the first time. It's like, how do you make music like Chase Atlantic?
Yeah.
Usually we'd be like inspired by an album or different artists. We'd had life happen. This was the first.
Yeah, we were trying to go with what we'd already made and like our sound because we had it kind of defined by the third album. So fourth album is actually pretty scary, you know.
So it's like this idea of being inspired by yourself.
Yeah, and not only like not trying to like beat what we had done last time, but still meeting those same like expectations in terms of like quality of the songs and the songwriting and like the depth behind it. And there's a lot of second guessing after 3 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the other thing is like people can fall into this idea of like doing something just because they think that's what their fans want, as opposed to doing.
Yeah,
what,
no,
like,
this is for us for sure,
And
but
that's probably why it did take so long. Is
Yeah.
because
Finding the balance.
We had moments where we were making songs that we weren't that happy with, but we never like. We're pretty good in a sense that if we're going to continue with an idea, it's one that we all.
yeah, it can't be like it's okay. We should probably continue. It has to be like it's good enough. We have to
Yeah.
continue on this.
How many ideas came before the one that we settled on, which is Lost in Heaven?
Are you talking about like the name of the album or the album
Name,
itself?
Name, concept. Like,
Um,
how do you really start that process?
So we had like 75% of an album done, and then I left my computer in the rain. I don't back any of my stuff up
Wait,
like an idiot. So yeah,
we have
Yeah.
so much to dissect
that
here.
kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of like
So that
that's
adds
another
that's a little
universe.
disheartening.
Wait, hold on. You had so 75% of this album is done.
Yeah.
It's all not backed up.
Nope.
Where do you leave your laptop?
It was just
Cairns
outside
in a
Uh,
monsoon
like
in Cairns.
like it just rains randomly. You can't tell. It wasn't like overcast. I just accidentally left my laptop out in the backyard, and it just pissed down rain that night.
Cairns will do that. It'll be a beautiful sunny day and then monsoon at night.
And I was like, my heart just sunk. My stomach sunk. I was like, no.
So were you able to recover any of that
Nah.
75%? So that's all just wiped.
Yep.
Yep.
And how do you even start to rebuild?
You just go fuck it.
Well, this is back to the back to the universe feeling like it's against you, but it's not that it was against us. It was just waiting. It wasn't the right time to make an album. And I think we didn't have enough to talk about then.
Yeah.
After Beauty and Death, 2 years after, it's like not much had happened. We'd gone on a tour or two, but like life hadn't actually happened to us yet.
Yes.
And
So
then
all
once
those
it did-
experiences that kind of made it more difficult, in a sense, made it easier as well.
Do you just rebuild the album from scratch after that? or do
Yeah, you don't
to-
try and base anything off of the old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you can
New
barely remember it.
concepts,
You know what I mean?
new
You have to open the
everything.
session file and be like, okay, that's how it goes. But if you don't have anything to reference, you don't remember how a song went.
Was any part of you, even for a little bit, like trying to chase what you had because you believed in it?
I mean, but I knew. I was like, yeah, it's gone.
I'm so sorry.
That's
That's
fine.
all right.
I mean,
Yeah, it was meant to be in a weird way.
we
Totally.
made an album. You know what I mean?
That and the album's great.
Thank you.
And more life was lived. But I understand that, right? So like you release 3 albums. All you're doing for a long time is just supporting that work.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, like everything goes on pause because your life becomes supporting these albums and all
Touring.
your whole catalog. Yeah, via tours and promo and travel
Yeah.
and the whole thing. And art imitates life, and like putting life on hold kind of means you stall making art because
You haven't got anything to write about.
yes,
Or, yeah. And you also like, I feel like even with production, because for this album, Christian like leveled up his production and was going nuts.
Thanks,
And
man.
it was really cool to kind of have that extra support, you know what I mean? And it was a game changer for sure. And so I think having that time as well, so we could all kind of hone in our craft more, was kind of a blessing. And the fact that we were able to collaborate in a sense that it made it easier for one person or the other.
We spent a week or 2 weeks making instrumentals, and in that time Mitchell was still writing. And at the end of every week, maybe on a Wednesday or a Thursday, we'd get together and try and write some stuff. Mitchell would freestyle some stuff.
Yeah.
But it kind of is, you get into a bit of Groundhog Day, because you wake up,
Yeah.
go to studio, and then
Sometimes you
go
don't
to
have
sleep and you go,
anything. And you're like,
next
oh.
day I got to go studio again. And then next day I got to go studio again.